So tragic news. Oh, first off, what's up, y'all? But tragic news out of Atlanta as 8 dead in Atlanta area spot shooting, suspect arrested. This is a very strange story. March 17th, we're near one of those Wiccan holidays, by the way.
Yep.
But this story was so strange to me, and how they were trying to present the story is even weirder. 6 of the victims were Asian women, officials said. The shooting occurred within an hour at 3 spas. I'm wondering why they pointed out they were Asian women rather than Asian. Because the whole thing that's trending right now is stop Asian hate.
Asian is.
But for whatever reason, they're making a point to make it a gender thing rather than an Asian thing. But yeah, anyway. The attacks began around 5 p.m. when 4 people were killed in a suburb north of Atlanta. Authorities said less than an hour later, 4 women were killed in 2 shootings in Atlanta. The victims in Atlanta appeared to be Asian women, as were 2 of the victims. Once again, I don't know what the gender part has to do with anything. Authorities arrested a suspect, Robert Aaron Long, 21, of Woodstock after a brief manhunt. Cherokee County Sheriff Captain Jay Baker said investigators were working to confirm that the shootings were related. So they very quickly came to the conclusion they were, I guess. I commend law enforcement. This is Keisha Bottoms. I commend law enforcement for their quick work in arresting a suspect in a tragic shooting, she said. I have remained in close contact with the White House and the APD as they work with federal, state, and local partners to investigate the super suspect who is responsible for the senseless violence in our city.
The White House?
Well, if it's a hate crime and has national coverage, I would imagine that's not a surprise that the White House is getting involved.
Did Obama ever get involved?
Yeah, when the gay people was killed in Florida. and also I think it was when those 2 people went around shooting people. I think they were some Middle Eastern. I'm sorry, I can't remember. And obviously Tamir Rice and
the one he said could have been his son.
Yeah, Mike Brown and damn, he had like how many people? Damn, Obama had a whole bunch of killings underneath him. And the guy, how did I get the kid in
he was an agent of chaos.
The kid in Florida,
Trayvon Martin.
Yeah, Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, and all those guys. And then obviously you had the gay bar shooting. But yeah, so I'm not surprised that the White House is involved in it. That when it's those type of situations, they typically do. South Korea's foreign ministry told NBC News that 4 of the women who died were of Korean origin, but their nationalities have yet to be verified. So that's how it started. They came out and said this guy was going around shooting up spies, and they kept pointing out.
What kind of spies were these? Were these whole houses?
I mean, look, somebody brought out, is it possible these women were being sex trafficked? And yes, he killed them. He went on a spree, but were these women being sex trafficked? Is that something we can also bring out? They could have been also victims of that situation, but
yeah,
I don't know. But they turned it quickly from him just going around shooting. They kept pointing out it was women. And you see here, a little while later, they brought out that Georgia shooting suspect may have sexual addiction.
What does that have to do with him?
Isn't this the same thing as when they come out after a white person go on a shooting spree and say, they might have mental problems?
By the way, pretty much.
By the way, once again, we're going to bring up a man in Nashville set off a bomb in the middle of the city, and the media didn't cover it.
Nope.
I think they did, but it should have been way bigger. A man in Nashville set off a bomb in the middle of the city, suicide bomb, and
nothing happened. And a year prior to that, his girlfriend had told the police department that he was building a bomb.
Yeah, and they just said, we don't have enough.
Black sheriff went out and was like, nothing to see here.
Looked in the yard and kept going. I'm going to keep bringing it up because that's a crazy story that nobody talks about. Okay, Atlanta. A white man accused of killing 8 people, most of whom were of Asian descent, at massage parlors.
So they all weren't Asian then? It said most of them were Asian descent.
Well, yeah. Unless they consider Korean not Asian.
Koreans are Asian.
Yes, I'm confused. I agree. I'm confused. Okay. Yeah, hold on.
Here we go.
That wording, okay. A white man accused of killing 8 people, most of whom were of Asian descent, at massage parlors in the Atlanta area told police the attack was not racially motivated and that he potentially had a sexual addiction.
So nothing about this was racially motivated. He was just going to one of those happy hour spas and things just went left.
Okay, I'm confused. So who were the other races? Okay, what were the other
Well,
two?
remember, because the other article said 6 were Asian women. So were the other 2
not Asian?
Not Asian?
And not women either. So what were the other 2?
Were they white males?
What if they were just not Asian? I'm wondering. Still, authorities said that they were investigating whether the deaths were hate crime amid concerns over the wave of attacks on Asian Americans. 6 of the victims were identified as Asian and 7 were women. So 1 was a man.
6 other victims were identified.
Hold on. So 6 of them were Asian.
They just said 6 were women, though.
No. So they're saying 6 of the victims were identified as Asian and 7 were women. So 1 was a non-Asian woman, 1 was a man of some race, and 6 were Asian women. So what were the other 2? How is this Okay, I'm confused. Officials did not say that Robert Aaron Long, 21, ever went to the parlors where the shootings occurred. They also said that he was planning to go to Florida and a plot to attack some type of porn industry. What porn industry is in Florida? He made indicators that he had some issues, potentially sexual addiction, and may have frequented some of these places in the past, says Sheriff Frank Reynolds of Cherokee County, where one of the target's businesses was. He said it was too early to tell if it was racially motivated, but the indications right now are that it may not be, he added. We believe that he frequented these places in the past and may have been lashing out. So they're trying to call him an incel.
Yeah.
Okay, this might be more demonization of I gotta be honest, the white male, the left back white male. The incel, the socially awkward white male incel, or the Republican, or the alternative right, or something. Are they gonna say that was? Because don't be surprised if it comes out that he was part of some alternative right group or some racist group. Will they tie him to the Proud Boys?
This is just, it's not making sense.
So basically, an incel ran into with 3 massage parlors, shot 8 people. 6 were Asian women, 1 was a non-Asian woman, and 1 was a non-Asian man. So he has, okay. How are this going to link back to Trump saying China virus?
Well, that's what they're calling it. They're saying Asian is not a virus. Or how are they phrasing it?
We're gonna watch this clip of the sheriff here, get some more understanding.
Our deputies responded to this massage parlor here on Highway 92, just west of Bells Ferry Road, to a multiple people shot call. They got here, determined that in fact multiple people had been shot. So we are now dealing with 4 deceased and 1 injured. The suspect was identified as Robert Aaron Long, 21 years old, lives in unincorporated Cherokee County. We put out his image to the assignment desk a little while ago. I'm not sure if everyone got it or not, but he is currently in custody in Crisp County. We've been communicating with them. My understanding they did a pit maneuver on him and took him into custody, as far as I know, without incident. So the suspect, who we believe committed these crimes here today in Cherokee County, is in custody.
Are you all investigating that this may be an attack against Asian Americans in the metro area?
Well, nothing's going to be ruled out. We're conducting a multiple homicide investigation. So wherever the evidence leads us, that's where the investigators will go.
So the media's already trying to push the Asian side, but obviously the sheriff is trying to say, that may not be the case. This case is very strange.
It's very strange. I agree with that.
The suspect did take responsibility for the shootings. He said that early on once we began the interviews with him. He claims that these, and as the chief said, this is still early, but he does claim that it was not racially motivated. He apparently has an issue, what he considers a sex addiction, and sees these locations as something that allows him to go to these places, and it's a temptation for him that he wanted to eliminate.
So you just admit that he just admitted these massage parlors were prostitution rings. right?
Yep.
The sheriff just kind of admitted to it, didn't he? He didn't combat his point that these places were, made him feel the need to fall into his sex addiction. But that would mean these places.
They're all over. They're all over the place. They're all over here in Seattle. They be open at 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning.
Well, yeah, I get you. Yeah, I agree. But I'm talking about the sheriff. He didn't dispute that that's even a thing. He didn't say that these massage parlors would not go. We're going to investigate to see their ties to this. Do they actually have these options?
He probably be going there to visit, allegedly.
I don't know, man. This case is really, really strange. We're gonna listen to one more with Keisha Bottoms giving some information.
I believe Captain Baker shared with us that they determined that the suspect was on his way to Florida, I believe, and perhaps to carry out additional shootings. So again, it really speaks to the coordination and the quick response from law enforcement. For as tragic as this was on yesterday in Metro Atlanta, this could have been significantly worse. And again, I can't express enough my gratitude for the coordination, and the public as a whole should be grateful that this suspect was quickly apprehended, because it is very likely that there would have been more victims on yesterday. I believe Captain Baker.
So didn't really say shit.
Nope.
This case is so strange. I'm wondering. Okay, so a white male incel with a sex addiction woke up, decided to go to the massage parlors and start shooting the people that work there. I guess they work there. 6 of them were Asian women. 1 was a non-Asian woman. 1 was a male. And he said he did it because he felt temptation because they existed. Now, he didn't go to a strip club in Atlanta. He didn't go to are strip clubs open? Maybe I'm tripping.
He didn't want to go to those type.
There's white strip clubs
okay.
So it's like he didn't go to a strip club.
Or the Asian strip clubs.
I'm pretty sure there's Asian women in there.
I mean, maybe he like Asian women.
Yeah, but this is so strange. He went to massage parlors. The only way this makes sense is if he did it because they're Asian, honestly. I'll even agree with it. It makes no sense that he did this with a sex addiction unless, 1, he had been to those parlors and had gotten relief. This makes no sense. The way that the media seems to be,
or it's fake.
Yeah, or that it seems the media is confused on how to report this story. Because on one hand, they want to push it as an anti-Asian American attack. On the other hand, they want to make it a woman's problem. He killed 6 women out of the 8. But on the other hand, it's like, well, did he kill them because he has a sexual problem, or did he kill them because they're Asian?
We'll never know.
But we'll know because more information is gonna come out.
I don't think so.
But this Asian, so I don't know. Is it did he kill them because they're Asian, or was it a sex addiction? Is that just a cover up, like the mental illness? I don't know. But a black woman was being under fire from black people because she wrote an article called "How Black Americans Can Be Allies to Asian Americans." Now wait, the article was written March 12th. It had nothing to do with this story, but because this story started trending, whatever company she wrote the article for, they started promoting the article now. So it led to her getting some backlash. She's like, wait, this has nothing to do with the story. This was before this.
Why did she write an article saying how black people could be allies with Asian people? What made her want to write that article?
Because up until then, they were still pushing the narrative that black people were just savagely attacking these Asian people. It was like,
Then too?
Yeah, up until this right here, definitely. But I would say definitely since our last video on this, they still were pushing that narrative, but they've kind of transitioned to anti-Asian hate across the country now. They say, oh, everybody's a part of it. Hate is hate, basically. So like Jeremy Lin coming out saying somebody called him a name and then never saying their name. It's like, wonder if it happened. But if we want to talk about anything, hate, we got to talk about what's going on with here. I mean, allies my ass. I mean, oh my God. So But as you can see, Stop the Asian Hate is trending number 3 right now. But I'm confused. Is it Asian hate? Did he do it because he hates women? Because that's what the incel part they're pushing, the sexual addiction. So did he do it because he hates women, or because he hates Asians? What's your final thoughts on this?
I really don't have no thoughts on this, to be honest with you. I wouldn't put it past if this is some type of fake story. You know, every time around this year, a whole bunch of people get killed.
A lot of deaths.
In March. This is the summer solstice. Around this time, they start killing off folks. Even if this is real, it's hard to believe what's real and what's not real. So
yeah, I think there's been a dozen mass shootings this year.
Remember last year when the white guy went into the Waffle House in Atlanta and just shot black people, and the black man ended up saving everybody?
Yeah.
That was around the same time last year.
Well, there's been, I think, a dozen mass shootings this year,
but they haven't reported on them.
Yeah, but last year there was a record low in the last decade because obviously the lockdown. So they about to open.
Oh, so they're gonna say the lockdown was a good thing because it led to less people getting shootings, less mass shootings, less pollution in the air. Bill Gates came out and said that we need to do this every 2 years to make, to lower the pollution.
Yeah, I don't know, but we'll see how this story progresses. Will it be the Asian or the woman thing that gets pushed? Just like the story in London.
In the end, it's always the woman thing that gets pushed.
But just like the story out in London, the cop kidnapped and killed a girl and one woman, and it turned to a big story. And the thing about that was crazy is they kept saying it was violence against women. I'm like, wait, it's a cop that killed a civilian. How do you make police brutality or police crime a woman issue? It was insane.
Well, then people turn around and say, well, how do you make police brutality a race issue when they're killing and beating everybody? That's what their comeback would be if you say that.
But there's a difference between getting killed because you committed a crime and getting killed when you are unarmed. That's a difference. And it's obviously if you're a smaller number of the population and it frequently happens to you, then clearly
that story in the UK is so crazy because they want to make a curfew for 6 p.m. for men.
Yeah,
who the fuck gonna go along with that? Men got to be in the house by 6 p.m.
Because there's such a danger to women.
But women get to stay out so that women can stay out all times of the night. Going to men's houses, by the way.
I don't know, man.
They got to come over to your place. You can't go to their place.
Got a nightcap at my house. But yeah, that's our opinion on that. But anyway, man, all praise to the Most High. Peace.